Hello everybody and welcome to this week's video. It is time for the first 10-book takedown of the year and I'm so excited for this one. It is our first themed 10-book takedown in which I will be finishing as many series as I can. Now, that does come with the caveat that the first series that I've decided to finish, I actually had 3 books left to read. So, I actually already read one of these as well because I started filming this the other day and then I accidentally deleted the clip for the intro. So I'm counting it towards the 10 books, I don't care. It's my video, my rules. But that is the Love Light Farms series by B.K. Borison. I read book 1 maybe 2 years ago and it wasn't my favourite thing. But I decided, because I've absolutely loved First Time Caller and Good Spirits, I am going to finish this series. That being said, I did actually finish book 2 last night and I really like this one. It was like a 4.25 if I'm being super nitpicky. I really love this. I thought, what's the girl called? I thought Evelyn was a very interesting female main character. She is a social media influencer and she gets very overwhelmed with her lifestyle choices and decides to just go somewhere. And previously she'd had a one-night stand with this man in Maine and then ran into him again on the farm he works at in Inglewood, I think the town is called. And she decides for some reason she's being pulled back to Inglewood. She feels the need to be there. And of course, our love interest is there. Beckett. Oh my god, I loved Beckett. He might be, like, under Nolan from Good Spirits, he might be my second favourite B.K. Borison book boyfriend. That's a real tongue twister. He was just so sweet and he's got like anxiety around people and he gets overstimulated by noises and he's just so relatable. I absolutely adored this. The reason I'm knocking it down by like 0.75 of a star is the miscommunication trope, which, to be fair, B.K. Borison was very self-aware and actually called out the fact it was miscommunication in this, but it was resolved fairly quickly, so I still loved it. As I said, 4.25 for this one. Absolutely adored it. This is just, you can tell I'm smiling as I talk about it. I loved this book and I love Beckett. He is so cute. And I did start actually book 3, which is Mixed Signals. This one follows Caleb and Layla. Layla is like the baker on Love Light Farms in Inglewood and Caleb is a Spanish teacher at the high school there, although I think it's a high school. I'm pretty sure it's high school. And they actually bump into each other out of town when Layla has just been ditched on a date. And he says, do you know what? I'll drive you home. It's not fair that you've been ditched. I'll drive you home. And they decide that because they're both so bad at dating, they should just fake date each other, like practice date, to try and improve. And that's the point I'm up to now. Again, it's just so much fun. I don't know what was wrong with me when I read Love Light Farms, because I imagine if I read it now, I would still, like, I'd have the good vibes from it now. But I'm really enjoying this. I'm definitely going to finish it tonight. I'm about 40% through it. I literally can't put it down. I'm obsessed. And then oh dear, almost dropped everything. The final book in this series, which I will go straight into and I probably won't do an update till I finish this, is Business Casual. I know this one is Nova and Charlie. I don't know any of the tropes. I don't know anything else, but I'm pretty confident in saying this is my favourite cover of the series. I think it's so sweet. All of the covers as well hide the people's faces, which I do enjoy. But this, I just love this. This just shows you like passion. You get it? Because he's like picking her up. It's so cute. And I love the green. It's stunning. And the flowers on every cover are just so cute. So I'm going to finish Mixed Signals and hopefully also start reading and finish Business Casual. And I will come back with another clip when I've finished and we will pick our next series to finish. I have finished the Love Light Farms series by B.K. Borison and I really enjoyed it. Not as much as I've enjoyed like First Time Caller and Good Spirits, but I will say In the Weeds is like maybe my second favourite BK Borison book ever. I ended up upping the rating of this one to 4.5 instead of a 4.25 because as I read each book, Beckett kept being obviously a reoccurring character, and everything he did, what are words? Everything Beckett does throughout the entire series just made me like giddy and smiley. So I think a 4.5 is really fair for this one. Then Mixed Signals, which I think I've explained the premise of, I gave a 4-star. This one was really, really cute. I really liked this one as well. And then Business Casual, which follows Nova and Charlie in a friends with benefits sort of situation. I liked the story. I liked Charlie. I did not really like Nova. I think she was really, really, not annoying, but I just didn't gel with her as a character. The way she treated Charlie, not a fan. The end did get me. The end did get me when they're doing long distance. It did get me because I'm doing long distance with my boyfriend at the moment, and it was just a little bit too close to home. So I think I'm gonna give this a 3.5. Like, it wasn't bad, but I didn't like the character enough to validate a 4-star. So that is what I thought of the Love Like Farm series, and that does mean we need to pick book 4 and the next series we're going to finish. And I think this is such an obvious choice, and the fact I haven't read it yet is crazy. Sin Bin by Chelsea Curso, book 5 of the DC Stars, and this will bring me up to date with this series. I have loved every single book of this series. I think this is going to be an easy win. It is an age gap romance, I think, between a coach and a figure skater, and I think she is she like the sister of one of the hockey players, I'm pretty sure. So I think I'm gonna love it, and it is on Kindle. I think I've mentioned, I don't know if in this video or the previous video, I don't want to pick up a physical book at the moment. My brain is not on full power. So I'm reading absolutely everything I can on my Kindle, and this is on Kindle Unlimited, so I will definitely be reading this on my Kindle again. And I'm expecting good things. I have high expectations of this book, and I'll be really disappointed if my expectations are not met. So with that said, let's crack on with Sin Bin. I finished Sin Bin. It took me a couple days. I really just couldn't get into this one as much as I was into the others. Like, the writing style was still obviously very good. I really enjoyed the writing style. The actual story I struggled with a little bit. And I find this with a lot of age gap romances because, like, as I said I think earlier, my boyfriend is older than me. I know an age gap romance, and I just find the way they're written most of the time very, very cringe. Like the way they talk to each other, or if they talk about the age difference, it sometimes comes across really, I don't want to say cringe again, but it doesn't come off well. So I did struggle a bit at the beginning when they were talking about that. She called him daddy quite a lot, which I thought was weird because he is an actual father. And that's a line I don't think I would cross. Like, if I was dating someone with a child, I wouldn't then call them daddy. That's weird. That's a little bit weird in my opinion. Other than that, I did like the actual characters individually. I thought a lot of their interactions were very sweet. I did enjoy, especially like Brody, the coach here. I don't know if I've explained, this is about Hannah, who's a figure skater and is the sister of someone on the hockey team that Brody coaches. Like, Brody I thought was adorable. I loved everything he did. He was so sweet. I did like Hannah. I think she maybe should have communicated with her brother a lot sooner. about what was going on. Like, they told his child before they told her brother. I'd argue, talk to the brother first. He's the one that's likely to have an extremely poor reaction to it, instead of the child who very clearly likes Hannah. Like, the brother only found out in the last like 10% of the book, and it was really like intense reaction. Oh, it's over now. So those are my issues with it. I did like it for the most part. I think I'm gonna give it a 3.5. I can't give it any higher than that because I really didn't want to pick it up, which is a shame because this is one of my favorite series. The other books are all like 4.5 and 5 stars. So I'm hoping the next book is going to be done well, but I'm pretty sure it's another age gap, so I'm not sure how it's going to go down. But 3.5 isn't bad. I'm still going to pick up the rest of the books. I'm still going to keep reading Chelsea Curto. It's not a terrible review. Now, I still don't really know what to read. I've got options. I've got In a Rush by Kate Canterbury. No, is that what it's called? Yeah, In a Rush by Kate Canterbury. I think In Your Dreams by Sarah Adams. Revelry by Lila Dawes. So, oh, and A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. That's another one I want to finish. But there is a book that I want to read this month, and I think it's going to take me a little bit longer than those other ones. So I'm going to pick that one up first, and I'm a little bit scared for it. It's the sequel to a book I gave 5 stars. After the slight disappointment that was Sin Bin, I am very nervous now to go into another highly anticipated one. But I'm going to read Wrath of the Dragon by Olivia Rose Darling. This is the sequel to Fear... Is it Fear the Flames? Fear of the Flames? Fear the Flames, I think it's called. I'm excited for it. As I said, I gave Fear the Flames 5 stars. I don't remember too much about how that book ended, but I know it's like... What's the main character called? Elowen has a connection to a lot of dragons. I remember that. I know there was a heist situation to get the dragons back. So I'm excited. I think it's quite spicy as well, if I remember rightly. And I'm hoping I can fly through this on Kindle because it is on Kindle Unlimited. I waited until it was on Kindle Unlimited to pick it up because it only came out last year. And also, I love the way the foiling is reflecting because I've got a candle warmer. That's what my lighting is today. And it's so pretty. I'm going to jump into this and we'll see what I think. I have some disappointing news. I got to page 310 of Wrath of the Dragon, and I just don't care about what's going on. I really don't. I want to know what's happened, but I physically cannot bring myself to pick this book up anymore. I'm so done with it. I think this would have benefited from being 2 separate books, because for parts 1 and 2 of this, the focus is primarily on Elowen and Caden have fallen out because they are now engaged, and Elowen believes that Caden has only been with her to enact this marriage clause and become a king. So I think that should have been the focus of this sequel, and then I think book 3 should have been the war that happens. That's my personal opinion. I think this is far too long, and I don't think it's interesting enough to validate being this long. I love a long book. Magnolia Parks is a fairly long book. I fucking love that because it's interesting. There's always something going on that makes me want to keep reading. This, truly, I do not care. I'm done with it. I'm DNFing this. My first DNF of the year. Ta-da! I'm disappointed because as I've mentioned before, I gave Fear the Flames 5 stars. So I was anticipating this also being a 4 or 5 star. I was quite wrong. So, officially DNF'd. I do count my DNFs towards my reading goal if I'm past 100 pages, because I feel like that's enough of my time I've invested to call it read. So this is going towards my reading goal, but I am officially taking the bookmark out and calling it a day with Wrath of the Dragon. Now, the book that I've decided to go into next is another one where I gave the first book in the series 5 star, and so I have very high expectations of the sequel, But I feel like this one, you can't go wrong with it. I cannot see how they could go wrong with it. And that is Good Girl, Bad Blood, book 2 of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. I fucking loved Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I literally, I think, read it in one sitting. I couldn't put it down. I was obsessed. And then I watched the TV show twice. I was obsessed. So good. And the TV show has my favourite actor in it, Matt Bainton. Love him. He's from Horrible Histories. I'm a huge fan. So I loved that as well, which makes me think you can't go wrong with this. I loved the characters. Pip, I think, is incredible as a main character. She's so interesting, and the way her mind works, like her curiosity, amazing. Amazing mind to be in. So I'm going to start this tonight, I think, and I am anticipating good things, and I'm anticipating reading it in one sitting, because I think this is even shorter than actual, like, the first book. It's still like 400 pages long, but I think with especially mysteries, it's so easy to just blast through them. So that's my plan, is to start Good Girl, Bad Blood. But saying that, I think Wrath of the Dragon might have the potential to have put me in a reading slump. So we'll see how I do with this, because it's now been about 3 days since I DNF'd that, and I just didn't want to pick anything up. The only reason I'm forcing myself to pick something up is because this video is meant to go out today, the day I'm filming this, and it's not. It's now going to have to go out next week, which means I need to finish reading for this video. I'm hoping this saves me from the slump. So I've had to put off filming this because, as you can hear, I'm not very well. I've got a very, very bad sore throat, and I am very slowly losing my voice. But I have done some reading, and they have been successes. I'm very happy about them. Not that you can tell, because I can't do happy voice right now. I read Good Girl, Bad Blood and As Good As Dead. I read them across 2 days, which is insane, because look at the fucking size of them. That one specifically I read in one sitting. And I'm not even surprised to tell you that they are both 5-star reads. They're fucking incredible. I think the way the story is intertwined between all 3 books is just so well done. The reoccurring characters, Pip's involvement in everything that's happening, it's just all so well done. Like, I couldn't imagine writing something this well thought through. So 5-star for both of them. I actually cannot believe every book in this series, all 3 of them, 5 stars. I don't think that's ever happened before. Like, even Harry Potter, like, Half-Blood Prince is not a 5-star for me. I don't like that book. But yes, very happy with these. I have actually ordered Killjoy as well, the like prequel novella. So if that arrives in time, I might read that to like really complete the series for this one. But in honor of completing more series, and also in honor of the romance reader jumper I'm wearing, I have started In a Rush by Kate Canterbury. This is book 2 in the Friendship Rhode Island series. The first one is In a Jam. I did like that book, but I have really put off picking this up because it is quite long. And I didn't like I don't care that much. So I picked this up. It is a marriage of convenience, like revenge husband type thing. I'll tell you more once I know more, but it's okay so far. Nothing is really like drawing me to keep reading though, so I am just gonna have to push through and try and finish this today. And then I think the next one I'll pick up is probably In Your Dreams by Sarah Adams, and then either Killjoy or Revelry. They're my options. But with that said, I'm going to do some more reading, and hopefully, I mean, even next time I'm not gonna have a voice, or I'll be better, I hope. But it's now Wednesday and I have to upload this Friday, so I don't think I'm going to be better by Friday. But I will check in with you once I've finished In a Rush.